The Jaguars are future focused. This is Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and pride of the Jaguars, Fred Taylor, bring you highlights and analysis from today's game. Jaguars Postgame, presented by Florida Home AC, is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, to get things started, here's JP Shadrick.
And welcome in. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Final score at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. The Colts 34 and the Jaguars 27. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Disappointing day for the Jaguars, to say the least. Matt Ryan with a career-high 42 completions in the game and 58 attempts, and the 10th best passing yardage day in his career in game number 228 of his career. Fred, the Jaguars defense couldn't get it done today. The offense ran the ball a lot early, and then 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter alone. Indy comes out on top. What's up, Fred?
JP, Big Mike, how's it going, guys?
Good, man.
Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's how I sound.
it's going.
I mean, it's October. It's Boogeyman month. I mean, I can pick on these guys, or I can be Freddy Krueger. But the only thing is, we're not dreaming, man. This isn't a dream. The Jags got to play better. From a defensive standpoint, they got to play a lot better, man. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, they carved him up, it looked like, with that short passing game today, Fred. Obviously, after sacking Matt Ryan 5 times in the first matchup, they were not going to let that happen. They didn't have Jonathan Taylor to rely on. Did you see any adjustments made to try to slow down that passing game? I know they were talking about on the broadcast switching it up from man to zone, but it just seemed like whatever Matt Ryan saw out there, he had some easy completions.
Yeah, Matt did a really good job Matt did an amazing job of taking his first reads. You can look at the completions there. As you guys see, he broke their record. I mean, after all the years of having Peyton Manning there, you'd be surprised that Matt Ryan holds the record. But he took advantage. You know, he took his progression, and the guys made plays for him. Pittman, he had an amazing day with 16 targets, and he hauled in 13 of those. And he made the guys. He showed strength. He was, just bullying our guys. And then you couple that with Jackson, 10 targets, 10 receptions, almost 100 yards. He was 21 yards shy. And those two guys, they pretty much were the bulk of the receptions. Shaquille Griffin, I was talking about being a boogeyman and picking on someone. Teams are going to do that for the duration of the season. He's been a pass interference machine. He's just kind of been out of sync. I don't know if he's a true number one. I will hang a big question mark over his head. He's not playing like it, at least. To give up that big touchdown at the end, that's a huge no-no. But our teams are going to pick on him going forward because he would, in my opinion, be the guy to go after from now on.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Final score, 34-27, the Colts over the Jaguars. The Jags got the lead with 2:44 to play in the fourth quarter on a Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk pass. It was an 18-play, 84-yard drive that ate 10 minutes of game clock, 10:03. The two-point play was no good, so the Jags led by 1. And yeah, you mentioned that play at the end with the Colts driving down the field. They converted a third down earlier in the drive to Pittman, and then 3rd and 13, throwing it up to Alec Pierce for the what would be the game-winning touchdown, 32 yards, and the Colts and the Jaguars split the season series, Mike.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Fred. I mean, definitely lapses there, but really, you look at Deion Jackson in the game he had today as well, and I know a lot of it was catching the ball out of the backfield, but they come in here with their third running back, and Jackson runs it for 42 yards and a touchdown, catches another 10 out of the backfield. Could you tell if anyone in particular was getting picked on, Fred, or was that just some quick-hitting stuff that Matt Ryan was able to recognize and get the ball out quickly?
Yeah, I think, as I said to start, Mike, Matt, he recognized what the Jags were giving him. whether it was man coverage, the backs took advantage underneath, they won their matchups. And then when the Jags changed up and went zone and got deep, played soft coverage, he got the ball out quick. I don't know how many under-crossing routes that Pittman ran himself that was wide open. And you're talking about Jackson, just some check-down routes and underneath stuff that they executed on, and it extended those drives for him.
Jaguars offense today, Trevor Lawrence finished 20 of 22 passing, 163 and a touchdown. ETN continued to get some yardage, over 100 total yards in the game today, 86 on the ground on 10 carries, including a 48-yarder and 40 yards through the air in the receiving game. Seemed like Zay Jones was all over the place. Didn't have a huge yardage game, but 5 targets, 5 catches in this game. And the offense, as we said, Fred, first half especially was making it a point to just run the football. They weren't putting it in the air much at all early in the game, and they had to later. Yeah, so
JP.
Yes, Fred.
I think you mentioned the run game. I was having some connection issues.
Yes,
but I just to mention that briefly, and I could barely hear your question, but I want to talk about the run game. To spoil the amazing day by the group.
Yeah.
ETN finally got his breakout. You look at what the other guys did, what they did collectively as a group. Just an amazing day, and it's rare that you see a team go. They averaged 7.4 carry, had longs of 61 and 48. Hasty, that was just an amazing third and short run by him. But 33 for 243, it's rare you lose these games. And the coach just did enough to win. And it posed the question, man, they do have to play better on third and short. I did not like their execution on third and short today. Fourth downs. How many times are we going to press the issue on fourth down? And, I don't want to question Coach Peterson. He's a successful Super Bowl winning coach. But I sometimes I think that you have an opportunity when you look at fourth down as a bonus down, that aggressiveness can cost you. And in this case, they actually took the lead. So it almost covered that part up. But your defense, they gave up the big play at the end. But those are question marks for me as well going forward. I don't know if you guys think the same, but at one point I thought the fourth down call was a bad call. When it was 21-19. Like, put the points and hopefully play good defense. Even if you let them score, you have an opportunity to go out there and score again. Now you don't have to waste the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I don't mind going for it on fourth down, Fred. What I mind is when it's 4th and 1, and you're already in the shotgun, and then you're going to run to the side of the field, and you're going to do an option pitch back to Travis Etienne. When he catches that ball, he is now 5 yards from the line to gain, and all the pursuit is right there. I mean, I just don't understand that play call at all on 4th and 1.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. That's an amazing observation, and the everyday fan won't recognize that. They'll just call it an option play. But again, what are you telling the defense? The runner himself, now he has to take his eye off the defender to secure the ball, now put it back on the defender. I've never liked the toss play for that very reason. I want to get mine in my hand now, give me an opportunity to react. But I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't necessarily like that play call, but I don't get paid to call the plays. And I don't get paid to execute them, but I do get paid to talk about it. And for me, it wasn't a great call.
Final score, 34-27. Plenty to come. Bucky Brooks standing by in Indianapolis. He'll have a conversation with head coach Doug Peterson after a Jaguars loss in Week 6. The Jags fall to a record of 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the AFC South. Indy now 3-2-1 overall, and 1-2-1 in the division. Plenty more ahead. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557. How far should we go? When it comes to the health of children, we will stop at nothing, focusing on prevention as much as cures. Working with community leaders, educators, policymakers to make every child's world a place for them to thrive. Going to the nth degree and beyond. Nemours Children's Health, well beyond medicine. Join the journey at nemours.org/beyond.
Kessler Creative, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, has been a leader in direct mail for over a decade. Using the latest technology, Kessler can now reach your ideal audience even more effectively. Choose from between a couple of response channels, from direct mail to landing pages designed to engage and initiate responses with potential customers. Kessler Creative, Jacksonville, Florida. Results-driven marketing and a proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC continues after a Jaguars loss in Indianapolis. Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27. The Colts now 3-2-1 overall. The Jags 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the division. The Colts and the Jaguars split the season series, and Indy continues to, they had a big day today, obviously, offensively. Their best day offensively all season. Indy goes for 434 total yardage in the game. Matt Ryan with his 10th best career passing day through the air yardage-wise, 389 and 42 of 58 passing. The second most completions ever against the Jaguars in Jags history, and the most attempts for any opposing quarterback against a Jaguars team in the history of the franchise today.
Unbelievable. Fred, we're just talking on the break. You didn't hear us, but how do you run for 243? Your quarterback goes 20 of 22 passing. You don't turn it over until the very final play when, you're in that scramble mode. So, I mean, it's almost impossible to lose when you've got those numbers, it would seem, right? I mean, the quarterback completed almost everything he threw, and you're running down their throat.
Yeah, Mike, I totally agree with you there. That's the point I was making, man. That's just old school football. The statistics looked like an old school football game that I don't know. It wasn't, the turnovers weren't there. Obviously the big plays there at the end that flipped the score, but the different scoring changes, as JP mentioned a second ago in the fourth quarter. How many did you call out there, JP?
So what was the lead changes? 3 of them in the fourth quarter, yeah. 3
lead changes in the fourth quarter. I mean, it was a very good football game. Naturally, it was a good football game. They're going to look at it statistically and say, hey, where did we lose this game? And it really came down to me was the short yardage ball game, the interferences there, and that big play by Griffin. So I don't know what the coaches are going to say when they watch the tape, but it's really hard to point out where you really lost the game at other than right there.
I'll say from one positive standpoint, and again, there's no moral victories. We're not saying that, but Trevor Lawrence found himself down in the fourth quarter with a chance to lead his team down the field and take the lead late. He was able to do that. Unfortunately, the defense, Fred, didn't give him that come-from-behind victory, didn't allow the team to have that come-from-behind victory. But what did you see out of Trevor late in the game that you may have liked as the Jags were trailing and he was leading them to that touchdown?
I think unlike last week, he did make better decisions with the ball. I don't think Trevor forced anything, especially in situations, and he played accordingly. I think overall as a unit, I like to see him convert better on 3rd and 1. They did get the 4th and 1 there late in the game, but I think overall Trevor had a solid day.
On that drive, I have him down for 3 runs to convert first downs, a 3rd and 3, a 4th and 1 sneak, and then a 13-yard run a little later as well. And he was a big piece of that 18-play, 84-yard drive at 10 minutes and 3 seconds off the game clock in the fourth quarter. But it put the Jags up by 1. The 2-point play no good. And then Ryan gets the Colts down the field for the game-winning touchdown on the ensuing drive. And, just not enough today for this Jaguars team. And it is, by the way, the 243 rushing yards as a team, Fred, is the 6th most in franchise history today. And it comes on the losing end of a game, which is that doesn't happen all that often.
Nah, I agree with. Did we lose any of those other games, JP?
I'd have
when
to
we
go,
had that amount of yards rushing?
I'd have to really go look. I'll dig it. But I
it's
doubt
tough
it.
to do.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if we did.
Fred, I don't know. Last week you figured the message was, hey, beatable team, division game at home, kind of a must-have based on where things stand in the AFC South. Then, okay, you lose that game. You go on the road against an opponent that you manhandled just a month ago, and they're depleted. What is the message now coming out of this game? I know you got to pick yourself up and get ready for another football game next week, but this has gone the wrong direction in a hurry in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, right now we can look at the team and say it's the same old Jags, but it's not. Quite honestly, we can look at the few plays in the game. They're a lot more competitive than they had been the previous couple years. You can see that they have some players in place that are going to make this team a better team going forward. They got to continue to chip away. No moral victories, as you said, but when you're able to identify the minimal amount of plays that either win or lose your game, or more so lose your game in this case, then it's a team that's competing. They're fighting to the end. You don't really see fans leaving the stadium. So they're a better ball club. They got to find a way to get over that hump. And for me, that's what it's about. How can they get over that hump? What is it going to take to get over that hump? And they just got to keep grinding away. No time to have this pity party. Does it indicate that? And that's the NFL. You said it last week, Mike. That's the NFL. We could have won this or we should have won that. Everybody feels that way.
Yep.
Looking at the games around the league, you think people are saying Pittsburgh with Pickett and then a concussed Pickett and a Trubisky coming in the game? You're not thinking Tampa fans are saying we should have won that game with the
Of course they are.
NFL, you can lose any week, but you got to win those games you're supposed to win, and this should have been one of them.
The Jaguars fall by a final score of 34-27. The Jaguars running for a bunch of yards today. Trevor Lawrence efficient in the game as well, and the Jags lose in the fourth quarter. 3 lead changes in the fourth in this ball game. By the way, Fred, you were right. All the previous 5 better rushing days in Jags history were all wins. I just looked them all up. So
you would suspect that would be the case.
Figure there's some close games in there now. There was a blowout or 2 wins, but a couple of one-score games also with running at the right time got it done, but not today. And Matt Ryan has a nearly a career day in completions, and he's just a few off the attempts career high for him in this game as well.
And they had not scored more than 20 points in any game this year, and they're coming off a game where they looked absolutely atrocious offensively. I don't know, Fred. I don't know what to tell you right here. In terms of again, I think it's much more disappointing what the defense did today than what the offense did, allowing those 34 points. And obviously, you give up the late touchdown, that's always going to be disappointing. But once they got going there, it really kind of opened up there late in the second quarter. Fred, it was 14-3. You let them convert some third downs. You looked like you might be able to hold them to a field goal, and they get the touchdown. And on top of that, you go 3 and out and give it right back and give up another. And you just can't have that as a way to end a half.
No, not if you want to be that dominant defense that, you think you could be. You have to close the door on these teams. And, at one point when Doug did go for it there on the Colts 32, I'm like, okay, I don't know if they trust the field goal kicker. That's okay. Now, I get it. Do we believe in our offensive front to be able to make a yard? Potentially so. Or is it we don't think if we do kick a field goal to make it, the defense isn't stopping anyone?
Mm-hmm.
So there are a few things that you have to, throw around Doug's decision to go for it there on fourth down, and I believe it potentially could have been part of the latter when the defense, the Colts hadn't been stopped, the entire second half. So they just found their niche from the second quarter forward, and they just continued to move the ball, and the defense really didn't pose the Colts offense. So but if they want to be top-tier defense, they got to learn how to make the stop and close these games out. It reminded me of the Philly game. You had that big kick start there, the pick six, the whole 9, 14-0, and then you could have went up, but neither here nor there. That didn't happen. And then this game, same thing. You got to find a way to close out these games if you want to be these type defenses that go out there when you get this lead. Dogs want to hunt. If that's what you want to be, that's what you guys do.
Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27. Plenty ahead. We're still out to Bucky Brooks standing by in Indy. We'll hear from him with head coach Doug Peterson. After Peterson meets with the media in Indianapolis, he'll head down the hall and visit with Bucky. Disappointing day in Indy for the Jaguars, 34-20.
Defense just too tired. Weren't able to get to Matt Ryan on that last.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is one of the things we talk about a lot. Is the finish, right? And credit them. I mean, their game plan today obviously was not to huddle as much and try to play a little tempo and get the ball out quickly and try to eliminate some of your pass rush that way. And they did a good job with that. Our guys battled for 60 minutes, and we just gotta find a time, a place, a play somewhere that we can win these games. And it's obviously an opportunity to do that, and our guys will be better. We'll be better for it as we go, and great opportunities to teach.
You guys had some penalties on third downs, extended drives. I think roughing the pass or a couple of pass interference penalties. How demoralizing?
Yeah, again, you self-inflicted, and I think they were 6 for 6 on third down there in the second half, I believe, and whether by penalty or by catch, we've just got to evaluate the tape, and see if as coaches we're doing the right thing, and be hard and critical on ourselves, and trying to put our players in position. But at the same time, we understand that those mistakes can extend drives.
Doug, how encouraged were you that you needed it from Trevor?
He went and got you the go-ahead touchdown.
Yeah, I thought that was not only by him, but I think the offense. It was really good to see for us to go down and get that touchdown, and the go-ahead score there, and put a lot on Trevor, and he did a nice job. He made some big throws, and just good to see something we can learn from with him and keep building, and just continue to work at it. But that was good to see.
Even outside that last drive, did you like his decision-making all day, Trevor?
Yeah, for the most part, he did some really nice things, and there were some quick sacks on him. We got edged a little bit, and there were some quick sacks that got us on some first downs, put in some second long situations. But some of those we were able to overcome. But we didn't do enough. There's more out there that we can get, and we just got to find a way to do that.
Doug, how much you still trying to figure out who you guys are? Last week, you go up and down the field, can't get enough points. Defense plays well. You get 27, you get the big drive. You have 20-22. I think with Trevor, run for 200 and can't get it on the other side. Is that just the NFL?
I mean, I think it's both. I think we keep talking about it's about us and focusing on our jobs and what we do. Players and coaches, and we're all in this thing together. We're going to learn from it. We're We're gonna fix it. But this team. One thing I like about this team is there's no quit in these guys. They battle for 60 minutes. They don't shut it down at all. They play hard. They play fast. And like I told them after the game, we're gonna end up, whenever that is, whether it's through time or what, but we're gonna come out ahead on most of these, as we go.
Back-to-back big weeks for Travis Etienne. Can you talk about his growth and even bigger roles for him going forward?
I thought Travis, did a really nice job for us, today. Some nice explosive runs, in there. Offensive line did a nice job. He's getting better. He's getting better within the offense and what we're asking him to do. And I thought James even had some good runs in there. And we got Jermichael going. And thought overall, offensive line opened up the receivers blocked, safeties, linebackers from time to time, which is asked of them. I thought the run game was good, and we've just got to find a way to finish.
Colts were very effective on crossing routes against a lot of man-to-man coverage. How much do you anticipate that you're going to see more of that going forward until you prove you can slow it down better than you can?
Yeah, I mean that's one thing about this league is until you stop something, you're going to continue to see it. We've got to evaluate the tape, obviously, making sure we're doing the right things as as coaches to put our players in position to win those battles. But yeah, it's something we'll look at tonight on the way home.
The option on 4th down, was that something y'all just put in? Or what did you see that thought?
Well, we've had that play in, and we were rolling at that time, and felt comfortable and confident, that we were going to pick that up, and credit them. They did a nice job of stopping that one, and just something we got to evaluate and look at the decision, look at the play, look at all of it as we go forward.
Were you expecting them to go over the top? Because one of the things that Shaq said is that he had been playing kind of guarding the inside most of the time, but there was also, there was a lot of DPIs on both sides. But were you expecting them to go over the top like that when they really needed 6 or 7 yards to make it closer for the kicker?
I think in that situation they were already in field goal range, for that kicker, and it's just an opportunity there for them to, whether they obviously complete it for the score or they get the DPI, whatever it might be. It's the risk reward there kind of favors offense, in situations like that, because that with the time and on 4th down, they have the opportunity to kick the field goal. So kind of expect it in those situations, and just credit them. They made the play.
Last week you said it was a pissed off team in the locker room. What do you get a sense of these guys this week? A little bit of demoralized or no?
Well, I mean, yeah, they're hurting, obviously. They battled, but again, it's an opportunity to get better this week and learn from the film, coaches and players, and just get back to work. Nobody's gonna, as we say, feel sorry for us, and we just have to keep grinding and keep going. All right, thanks.
Compared to the first matchup, but got to just be in better position to make those plays.
All right, Fred Taylor with us on the phone line. Let's go back to Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. Bucky Brooks standing by with head coach Doug Peterson. Bucky?
Coach, what's your thoughts on a tough loss today?
I thought our guys battled, for 60 minutes. They hung in there. This film is going to, I think, sort of solidify some things for us. We've got some things, obviously, to clean up. Decisions on the field, 3rd down defensively, even offensively in the passing game, and just looking at the whole thing, the whole picture. I mean, give credit to the Colts. I mean, they had a really good game plan today. The plan was to obviously get the ball out of Matt's hands and have that quick strike. And I thought there, other than a couple of plays, we did some nice things, quite honestly, and things that we can learn from.
Coach, the team is so close to turning the corner, but you have to go through some of these tough moments to eventually be a champion. How do you keep him encouraged during this part of the process?
It falls on me, from the leadership standpoint of the football team, and how just staying positive, right? And still we got to show them, we got to hold everybody accountable, myself included, and just keep reiterating the fact that we're going to get this thing flipped around. This is an opportunity today to do that. We came up short, but I do believe that these types of games are going to make us better in the future, and we'll learn and hopefully overcome that.
Offensively today was a showcase game for the running attack. So much conversation had been about the ratio. How did you get those guys going? How do you feel about the overall look of that running game today?
Well, the overall look was good. I mean, we did some nice things, kept them off balance. We hit some inside sort of trap schemes there a little bit, and we hit some perimeter runs, and just did some nice things. Receivers blocked extremely well on the perimeter, which it takes, and it's just you just kind of never know how the game's going to go, and today it was the run game, and we got some explosive in the run game, and but the pass game was efficient. We were able to pick up some big chunk plays. We got some help with some defensive holdings and defensive pass interference calls that kept us on the field as well. And Trevor stepped up, made some nice throws, and overall you look at it and you just kind of hurting for the guys, because they did battle. It wasn't perfect by no means. And we just got to figure out a way to finish it and win these games.
Well, there's certainly a lot to build on from this performance. We look forward to seeing you next week against the Giants.
Appreciate it, Bucky.
Cool.
All right, that's head coach Doug Peterson in Indianapolis with Bucky Brooks. The final score, 34-27, Colts over the Jaguars in Week 6. The Jags fall to 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the AFC South. Plenty ahead. We'll come back in a moment and take a look at the highlights and the ViStar final stats right around the corner as well. This is Jaguars Postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Jaguars fans, huddle up for the best defense against expensive car repairs, CarShield. Score big with the nation's #1 automotive protection company, CarShield. They offer affordable plans that cover over 6,000 parts and systems in your car, truck, or SUV. Don't miss any Jaguars action this season with a car breakdown. Call the MVPs at CarShield for their best coverage ever. Call 800-471-1223. 800-471-1223. Go Jags!
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Welcome back. It's Jaguars Postgame presented by Florida Home AC. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Final score 34-27. The Colts over the Jaguars in Week 6. PRI Productions, the official event production company of the Jaguars, has everything you need to bring your next idea to life. Visit PRIProductions.com. Let's get to the highlights from today's game. And the Jaguars had an early lead. There were 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter. early in this game, though, neither team could really get anything going. Indy had the ball first. They go 7 plays and punt. And then the Jaguars on offense. They got a 48-yard run from Travis Etienne Jr., but it comes up short. The Jags were in field goal range, but there was a sack of Trevor Lawrence from DeForest Buckner of 15 yards that moved them out of field goal range. And they had to punt it away. Indy going 3 and out, and the Jaguars' second possession starting at their own 44-yard line. Good field position, and they cash it in 6 plays later with the quarterback.
Now motion. It's a quarterback sneak. Trevor Lawrence into the end zone, I believe. No signal yet. Touchdown! He was into the end zone. It took a while to get the signal, but that's a 1-yard touchdown run by Trevor Lawrence.
Extra point made it 7-0 Jaguars. Next possession ended the first quarter for Indy, and they finished with a field goal on that drive. 13 plays, 4:52 off the clock, 28-yard field goal from McLaughlin. Jaguars led 7-3. The Jaguars back on offense. The ensuing drive, they took advantage of a defensive holding penalty, and then JaMycal Hasty breaks loose.
They give it to Hasty, tries the right side into the open field. 45, 40, 30. No one's going to catch him. Inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? JaMycal Hasty just exploded for the score.
Extra point good, 14-3. Jaguars feeling good about it. Indy had to punt again, a 41-yard drive, but nothing doing. Jaguars go 3 and out, and this is still in the second quarter. The next Indy drive, though, they finally find pay dirt. They go 8 plays, 54 yards, and Matt Ryan starting to rack up some yardage through the air.
Shotgun, another blitz, dropping, fires left side. That ball is going to be caught, and it's going to be a touchdown. He hit the pylon. Paris Campbell reached out while being tackled, and the ball hit the pylon. Darius Williams had the cover, but that's going to be a touchdown for Indianapolis.
Ryan to Paris Campbell, a 4-yard touchdown pass. The extra point good for Indy. There was a pass interference on Shaq Griffin on that drive on 3rd and 8. That kept the drive going, and they end up in the end zone. So Jaguars led it 14-10 at that point. Then a 3 and out for the Jaguars. Indy gets the ball with a chance after a nice punt return from Kiki Kuti, who paid the price on a hit at the end of it. There was a 15-yard reception on a 3rd and 10 to convert to keep the drive going, and then Chase McLaughlin hit a 42-yard field goal for Indy. And the halftime score, Jaguars 14, Colts 13. On to the second half. The Jaguars open the third quarter with the football. Etienne gets a 27-yard gain. There was a 3rd down conversion. There was a defensive holding call and then a false start moving around. Tim Jones had a nice catch. 7 plays later, the Jaguars knock it on the door again.
Trevor's going to keep it on a quarterback run into the end zone. Touchdown! Trevor Lawrence kept it himself and scored for the Jaguars.
Second rushing score of the day for Trevor Lawrence, 21-13 after the extra point. The Jaguars on top. Indy coming back on offense. The Jaguars defense had them 3rd and 12 at the Indy 43. There was an incomplete pass, but a roughing the passer call on Trayvon Walker. Got his hand up into the face of Matt Ryan. The drive continued with some crossing routes. They kept moving the ball, churning up yardage, 75 yards on the drive, and Indy finding the end zone again.
Handoff to Jackson, lowers his shoulder into the end zone for the touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run for the Indianapolis Colts.
They went for 2. It was originally called good, but during a commercial timeout, the review took it off the board, so the Jaguars led 21-19. The Jags in the third quarter get the ball again. They go 9 plays, and on a 4th and 1 at the Indy 32, it's a 4th down try, and it's an option pitch right, and it's a tackle for loss to end that drive. Indy starting at their own 34-yard line on the next possession. The third quarter ended. They move on to the 4th, and then Matt Ryan continuing to throw it on this Jaguars defense finds his tight end.
4-man front for Jacksonville. Rushing the passer. Fires to the left
corner. Yeah, obviously we've had a few of these this year, so it's frustrating. It's tough. Not as much frustrating, just those are the games. We feel like we could have won every game that we've been in this year, and That's the NFL though. So there's a lot of teams that can say that, and at the end of the day, it just matters if you win or lose. So just continuing to find ways to go and finish and to win these games, and it's obviously there's going to be a lot to learn from today. There was some interesting situations that I think everywhere players like we can handle better. Just there's some tough situations, and at the end of the day, I think we did take a big step offensively. That was a 20-play drive at the end. Just the confidence that was in that huddle. I mean, it was cool to see, and just wouldn't want to be beside anybody else in there. So I'm just proud of those guys, and then defensively too, they made some big plays, and it's just on all of us to find ways to execute better. I know we had a drive where I missed a big throw on third down on the plus 40 or so, maybe it was really the plus 30, 32-yard line on third down. Got to hit that one to Christian. And so there's plays that you think about and you kind of kick yourself over, and it's just how can we all get a little bit better and put ourselves in that position to actually go and win it, not just be close. And that's what's frustrating. But I believe in the team that we have. I know we have that confidence no matter who we're playing that we can go win. And that's huge, obviously. And eventually we got to go and win those games, and we know that. And there's a lot of things that we can learn from and get better from. But, right now I'm still kind of taking it in, and obviously emotions are high. And biggest thing is we got to stick together, and we're all in it together. No matter what the result was, we all have our part, and we got to look in the mirror, kind of same thing we said last week, and address it and move on this week.
How encouraging was it for you that when it mattered and you needed that go-ahead score, touchdown no less, that you were able to get it?
I mean, yeah, there's been, a bunch of guys in the defense came up to me and were apologizing. I'm like, man, there's been plenty of times where, I wasn't able to get it done, and you guys put me in a position to go win the game. And so we're a team, and that's the thing. That's the beautiful thing and about this game is that it's a team game, and you got to have everybody, and whoever plays the better complete game wins the game. And that's the thing. And I really believe in the guys that we have, and love our team, and just we fought till the very last second and didn't go our way today, but I'm really confident in who we have and how we'll respond. So
Trevor, how Travis has really started to get going the last couple of weeks?
Yeah, Travis has been great. I mean, just you guys see how hard he runs. Obviously his speed helps us a lot, and just between him and James and Hasty, he had a big run today on third and short, so that was awesome. It might have been fourth down actually, but anyways, that was a huge run, and just those guys are doing a great job, and O-line is doing a heck of a job up front. We ran the ball great today, so that was good to see. I know they were excited, and we all were. So it's hard to talk about the positives when you lose. It's frustrating, but they're definitely like every game. There's positives, there's negatives, there's things we got to do better. But I thought we ran the ball great today. Obviously in the second half, as much success as we had on the ground, first half they had some adjustments, so it was a little tougher to break off those chunks. But we still did a few of them and ran it when we needed to, and converted a bunch of third downs down the stretch in that last drive. And so I thought we did some things really well, and obviously there's some things to work on.
How hard is it to win? Are you finding it is to win in the NFL? I mean, you guys run for 200, you miss 2 passes, and you have a 10-minute drive in the fourth quarter to go ahead.
It's hard to win. There's every team's good. So it's, I've known how hard it is to win, especially after last season, and so we had some close games, some that weren't so close. All those things. It's hard to win. You got to play well. Like you're not gonna luck into any wins in the NFL. You got to play a complete game, offense, defense, special teams, and you can't let up at all. You can't take a breath. And I think, we're gonna look at some times in that game where, speaking specifically offensively, where we had them 14-3, and I think that's when we got to strike, and we got to keep going and dominate the game and really take over. And there was a little bit of a lull there. Let them get back in the game at the end of the second half, and then we came out end of the first half. Then the beginning of the second half, we came out, scored first drive, kind of got back on track. So there's positives, there's negatives. You look at all of it, and we'll get better.
Do you think your legs would be as big a part of this game going into it?
I mean, you never know. You have a game plan, and you kind of prepare for everything. I know that's a part of my game where honestly haven't had to use too much this season, but that's a part of my game that I'm comfortable with, and I know that can help us if needed. So whenever my number's called, just doing what I can to help the team. And today that was that seemed to be something that was working, especially down there on the goal line, all those things. So guys did a great job up front, all that. But
you on top of Marvin, did that affect things, what you were trying to do at all? Or?
Our guys did a good job adjusting, and we have. I talked to the production crew before the game, all the different personnels we have, and the plan to have this guy here on certain plays, and then when you have one guy go down, a day or two before the game, and then Ag, who's a huge playmaker for us, especially in certain situations, goes down in the game, gets a little banged up. It changes your not necessarily your plan, but then you got to rearrange all your personnels. And I thought the guys did a good job of adjusting to it. And obviously it adds it's an extra challenge. You have guys in spots where you didn't rep in practice, but I thought the guys did a good job of handling it. That's it. All right. Thank you all.
Sixth best rushing day in franchise history. The Colts only ran for 45 yards in the game. Passing net, 389 for the Colts, 134 for the Jaguars. Penalties, 4 for 44 yards against the Jags, 7 for 52 yards against the Colts. 1 turnover. It was on the last play of the game when they kept flipping it back and laterals and all that. It was officially a fumble at the end, recovered by Indy. Time of possession, Mike, as you said, was heavily in favor of Indy in the first half, but a 10-minute drive late for the Jaguars got it back in their favor. They held it for 31 minutes, 11 seconds. And, wow, the Jags lose this game out-rushing the Colts by nearly 200 yards.
Crazy. I mean, you almost will never see that. And individually, Trevor Lawrence, as we mentioned, 20 of 22, 163 yards, 1 touchdown, that one to Kirk. Was sacked 4 times, had a quarterback rating of 112.7 in terms of a passer rating. He's had 4 passer ratings now in his career, over 100. 3 of those have come against Indianapolis. This is the first one that's come in a loss. So he's 3-1, or the Jags are 3-1 in games in which Trevor Lawrence has that passer rating over 100. He also chipped in with a couple of rushing touchdowns, 6 carries for 23 yards today. Travis Etienne led the way on the ground with 86, and JaMychal Hasty pitched in with a 61-yard rushing TD. Matt Ryan, as we've talked about, threw for 389, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, the reverse of what he did in Week 2 with no touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Deion Jackson, 12 for 42 on the ground with a touchdown. He was solid there, but really hurt him in the passing game. Caught 10 out of the backfield for 79 yards. Michael Pittman Jr. caught 13 for 134 for the Indianapolis Colts. Touchdown receptions by Paris Campbell, Alec Pierce, and Jelani Woods. On the Jag side of things, leading receiver was Zay Jones, 5 for 42. Evan Ingram, 5 for 40 in this game. And as we mentioned, Kirk with the lone receiving TD. Foye Oluokun had 12 total tackles, 6 solos in the game today. No sacks for the Jaguar defense.
All right, there you have it, the ViStar final stats. Fred Taylor back with us on the phone line now, and big day for Matt Ryan, 42 of 58, 389, 3 touchdowns. The killer at the end, though, on the 3rd down and 13 play is the one that put the Colts over the top for good, even after the Jaguars ran for 243 yards. This was frustrating for a lot of different reasons, but some of those numbers are why, Fred.
JP, Mike, you can look at these stats, man. It seems that everybody played well offensively. Matt Ryan had an amazing day. Trevor Lawrence had an amazing day. We talked about a couple weeks ago his game. I forget which game it was, but I said it was his best game as a pro. But here he is today with a 91% completion rate. I mean, that's almost unheard of. And a couple that with a loss, that's even more unheard of. And a couple of that with 243 yards rushing, we know the rest, right? But these guys really went out there and they put on a really good display offensively. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough to get them the W today.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Jaguars radio network. Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27. Plenty ahead on Jaguars postgame. We'll return with the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Jaguars fans, here's a great way to pay with pride wherever you go. Exclusively from TIAA Bank, the Jacksonville Jaguars Visa debit card comes with a fierce look and fantastic features, along with the convenience to make purchases online or at millions of locations worldwide. And it's yours, free, when you open a Yield Pledge checking account. Order yours today. Visit TIAABank.com/JagsCard. TIAA Bank is a division of TIAA, FSB, member FDIC, and the official bank of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Everyone circle up. I know it looks rough out there. Sure, we're down 24-6, but we came here to play differently. We need a game changer. Something like Ring Central, the business phone system that's more than a phone. I want you to communicate like you can talk to anyone, anywhere, all from the same app. Now get out there and play like you're using Ring Central.
Ring Central. Simpler communications.
It's football season, and time to take your game to the next level with a Ford F-150 truck. Light up your tailgate with an available Pro Power onboard generator. And with an available 3.5-liter EcoBoost engine, you can tow just about anything you need to rule the stadium lot. Ford F-150, part of the F-Series lineup that have been the best-selling pickups for 45 straight years. Get to your local Ford store today. Proud sponsor of your Jacksonville Jaguars.
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey and Fred Taylor after a Jaguars loss in Indianapolis, 34-27, the final. It's time for the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game voting. I get a vote, Mike gets a vote, and Fred gets a vote and a half to break any ties. We'll begin with Fred Taylor today. Who's your Player of the Game nominee?
JP, I got to go with Trevor Lawrence, man. I just mentioned 91% completion, 2 rushing touchdowns. He averaged almost 4 yards a carry. I mean, I thought Trevor played well. He managed the game. He was more alert, awareness-wise. He didn't make any mistakes. No turnovers. He protected the ball. He led his team. And he had 1 passing touchdown as well in there. So my vote is Trevor Lawrence.
I'm tempted to go with Jermichael Hasty because I don't know if he'll ever be in position to get another one here. So I will leave the drama in your hands. I would probably, if it were my own vote, just go with Trevor Lawrence, but I'll just recognize Jermichael Hasty, JP, so I'll leave the voting in your hands.
Yeah, I was leaning a little bit towards ETN just because he had a couple big runs again today, a 48-yarder, but I think Fred's hit this one right on the nose today. Trevor Lawrence, efficient, safe with the football, didn't put it on the deck, converted a sneak or two in the game, and then the touchdown runs also. So they used his legs a little bit more. Lawrence, 6 carries officially for 23 yards in the game in some key moments. So he is the Jaguars Radio Network Player of the Game. If you're looking for the MVP of the truck game, then look no further than Ford F-150. Loaded with impressive capabilities and designed to dominate work, play, and everything in between, this truck makes tough look easy. Your local Ford dealer, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We're back with the Baptist Health Injury Report when we return. It's Jaguars postgame on Jaguars Radio.
Are your heating and cooling costs extremely high? Do you want to extend the lifespan of your heating and cooling system investment? If so, Florida Home Air Conditioning is ready to help you save some money. Schedule your annual AC or heating system tune-up today with Florida Home Air Conditioning for only $59. Florida Home Air Conditioning, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Call 855-FLA-HOME.
License number CMC 1250399, CFC 1430664, EC 130-08557.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. Enter now for your chance to win behind-the-scenes access, game tickets, and more. Look for details at Publix where you can pick up all your game day needs, including Bounty, Tide, Pantene, and Crest. Tackle everything in one stop. Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC, and it's time now for the Baptist Health Injury Report. Baptist Health, changing healthcare for good. Couple of names popping up on there. Actually, one big one today. Jamal Agnew was not out there at the start of the second half on the opening kickoff return and was later questionable with a knee issue and did not return to the football game, it appeared, and that's not ideal because obviously Agnew, a big threat in the kick return game, had seen some activity as a wide receiver, end around kind of stuff, or when somebody's injured, he would step in there and play a role, Mike. So if he's down for a period, that could be an issue.
Had a really nice play today. Took it down to about the half-yard line, almost scored a touchdown on a little inside handoff kind of reverse deal. He did stay on the sideline in uniform. So that's at least that good of a sign, but who knows what the status is. You're right. You can't afford to lose a guy. You don't have many game changers yet, established game changers. At what he does, he is proven to be that guy in the National Football League. So let's hope that he's able to get out there next week.
Marvin Jones Jr. missed the game with a hamstring issue that popped up late in the week. Foley Fatukasi with a quad injury. Was back on the practice field a little bit this week, but not good enough to go in today's game. So there you have it with the Baptist Health Injury Report. We're back in a moment, and we'll get the final thoughts from Fred Taylor. Final score, 34-27, Colts over the Jaguars. The Jaguars Game Day radio broadcast is brought to you by ViStar Credit Union. Do good, bank better. It's Jaguars postgame on the Jaguars Radio Network. At ViStar Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. ViStar Credit Union, ViStarCU.org. Go Jags!
At Farah & Farah, we represent people from all walks of life in matters involving personal injury cases. It doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter which neighborhood you call home, because everyone deserves justice, dignity, and respect. And remember, when it comes to compensation, you only get one shot. Make it count. Call Farah & Farah at 800-500-5555. Jacksonville.
It's Ford Truck Month. Now's the time to get a great deal on the only trucks built Ford tough. Work or play, get after it in a new Ford F-150 or Super Duty truck. Get a Ford Maverick or get after any adventure in a Ford Ranger pickup. Take advantage of our best offers on the full Ford lineup of trucks, but you better get going. These deals won't last. Get to Ford Truck Month. Some models, trims, and features may not be available or may be subject to change. See your local dealer for details.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
Jaguars postgame presented by Florida Home AC. Call Florida Home AC today, official air conditioning partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, Fred Taylor. Jaguars fall to a record of 2-4, 1-2 in the AFC South after a 34-27 final today in Indianapolis. Next week, Fred, the New York Football Giants come calling. And New York is putting together a very, very good start to the season. Another win today. They beat Baltimore 24-20. And all of a sudden, the Giants are 5-1 and are beating good football teams, too. These are no fluke wins, at least it appears, for the Giants coming in here.
Hey, JP, and it's all led by Saquon Barkley. I mean, I think he's pretty much, he told everybody, hey, I'm back. He's really playing lights out for his team. I saw his game today. Should have had another touchdown. As a fantasy owner, I'm like, come on, Saquon. They're not going to – you can go up 11 with a minute left in the game. I don't think you're going to lose it, but it's still a smart play by him. Definitely the leader of that team. He's the heartbeat of that team. And it's not going to be an easy task for the Jaguars next week. The good thing is they're at home. They have shown some signs of playing okay versus the run, minus the Philly game. And I think that they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. Daniel Jones, he's not a big threat, but he is a player. He's out there making plays for his team. But if you bottle up Saquon, you give yourself a better opportunity to get a victory.
Yeah, it's been easier said than done for every team going against the
Easier
Giants
said than done, Mike. Exactly.
Yeah, and Daniel Jones is playing well, man. I mean, he's not going to put up many 400-yard passing games, but he is making plays for his football team.
And he can run, too, now.
Look, he had got
that's
one
what
guy
he can do best.
He got Wan'Dale Robinson back today, but he's still down 3 of his top 4 wide receivers, and he's out there beating good teams. So, it doesn't get easy, Fred, as you pointed out at the top of the broadcast. Welcome to the NFL, man. Every week it's something else.
Yeah, Mike, it's something else. But, again, another opportunity is what it is. Those guys got to, go back, study his film, try not to minimize their confidence and realize that it's only a few plays here and there, and their record could be totally different than what it is. They just go out there and thankful for the opportunity, man, and try to get another double or try to get a win.
Fred, have a great week. We'll talk to you a little later in the week.
Speak to you guys soon. And I'm calling Carlos. You know why, Jay.
I got you, Fred.
We'll talk about it later.
Have a good week. Fred Taylor, proud of the Jaguars running back, joining us on the phone line. So the Giants in here next week. That'll do it for Jaguars postgame. For those on our flagship station, 1010XL in Jacksonville, stick around. The Scoreboard Show is next. We'll have your phone calls at 355-NFL1, 355-6351. VP of Production, Patrick Cavanaugh. Executive Producer, Dave DeCandis. Manager of Radio, Joe Fortunato. Linda Fortunato, our studio producer. Tony Smith as well. David Cho, Brent Reber, Trent Padilla, Gabby Dalton produce our videos for Jaguars.com. For Fred Taylor, Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and our entire crew, this is JP Shadrick saying good night. Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27 on the Jaguars Radio Network.
The Jaguars are future focused. Welcome to the Jaguars Scoreboard Show. This is your chance, Jaguars fans, to sound off about today's game. The Jaguars Scoreboard Show is brought to you by Farah and Farah, Baptist Health, and by TIAA Bank. Now, waiting to hear from you. Here are Mike Dempsey, Bucky Brooks, and JP Shadrick.
Welcome in the Scoreboard Show. 355-NFL1, the number, 355-6351. Phone lines are open after a Jaguars loss, the third in a row. Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, and 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter. Matt Ryan with nearly a career day, in fact, a career-high completions in this game for the veteran quarterback. The Jags ran the ball very well, the sixth best rushing day in Jaguars history, and they outrushed the Colts by 200 yards nearly, 199 yards difference, and lost the ball game on a 3rd down and 13 play. Matt Ryan hit Alec Pierce for a 32-yard touchdown over Shaq Griffin to give the Colts the lead for good.
Yeah, I mean, almost impossible to imagine you could outrush a team by 200 yards. Your quarterback only has 2 incompletions, and you don't turn it over all day, and you lose that game. Defense really just lost the ability to stop Matt Ryan there. Matt Ryan just got into a groove, hitting short passes. If they played man, he had man beaters. If they played zone, he was getting it out of his hands quickly and dumping it down to his tailback and just taking the 5 yards, 6 yards at a time. Didn't have to big chunks of yardage. I mean, considering how many times he threw it, the yardage total is not astronomical. But I think the big issue now, JP, you look at last week, okay, they lost a game. Well, go back 2 weeks ago. They lost the game because they were sloppy, right? They had the 5 turnovers by Trevor Lawrence. That was the main contributing factor to that. Last week, couldn't do anything offensively. Got held to 6 points, right? Now, you had a big, bust on defense late in that game, but overall, you gave up 13 points. Today, your offense got in gear, as we've been talking about. The running game was there, the quarterback was super efficient, and your defense just collapsed against a team that had yet to score more than 20 points in 5 games this year, coming off a 12-point outing against the Denver Broncos with basically the same personnel because they didn't have Jonathan Taylor in that game either. And instead, we made Deion Jackson into a pass-catching hero like Marshall Faulk out of the backfield. Not quite to that extent, but 10 for 79, that was a pretty big part of keeping the chains moving today for Indy.
Pittman, 13 for 134 receiving today as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, I remember when they played the first time, and we're talking about the absence of Pittman and Pierce, and Jeff Logman was like, Pittman's just the guy. He's not that great. Okay. I hope that's not the case because he dominated them today. I mean, he put up huge numbers today, and Shaq Griffin just, he had a couple of tackles for loss, so it's not like every play he made was a bad one, but he had enough there. I mean, even that one where he didn't get his head turned around on that last drive, gets his hand on the ball and breaks up the pass, forces a 3rd down, which they did convert, by the way. But, if he gets his head around a little bit quicker, might have a chance to pick that one off, just go down right there. That's ball game for the most part. And maybe you need a first down still at that point. But either way, doesn't matter. Okay, I don't know if it makes you feel better as a Jag fan. It might, that every game they've lost has been by 1 score, right? But what do they always tell you in the NFL? Good teams find a way to win close games, at least their share of the close games. Jags have won 2 games where basically everything rolled their way. And give them credit for helping it roll in that direction, but in any game that's been decided by a single score this year, they're 0-4.
It's the bottom line. Phone lines are open, 355-NFL-1, 355-6351. Your calls when we return. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Your hometown gate now has more ways to save. Introducing My Gate Rewards, a new loyalty program with member-exclusive savings and fuel discounts. Earn points on in-store purchases, take advantage of special offers, and save on products you love. Score free coffee, fountain drinks, pizza, and soft serve with Gates Frequent Shopper Clubs. Then use your points on savings at the pump. Download the My Gate Rewards app in the App Store today or ask a store associate for more information. Go from good to Gate.
Brooks Rehabilitation is hiring nurses who want to be empowered as advocates, educators, care coordinators, and leaders in exceptional patient care. They have open RN, LPN, HHA, and CNA positions across their inpatient, skilled nursing, and home health care settings. Join their nationally recognized team, where you'll serve as a central team member doing what you do best, providing exceptional patient care. Apply at careers.brooksrehab.org.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
Your pet means the world to you, so Pet Paradise created a slice of paradise just for them. Pet Paradise is your complete pet health care destination with resort-style day camp, overnight boarding, professional grooming, and compassionate veterinary care from New Day, all located under one roof. Pet Paradise has over 50 locations to serve pet fanatics like you nationwide. Book today at petparadise.com, the official pet care provider of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back, 355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. Let's get to some phone calls after a Jaguars loss, Mike.
Oh, man, are they loaded up. All right, here we go. Zach on the north side, first up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Zach.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Okay, what's up, man?
Good, man.
Hey, just a quick comment. It was a disappointing loss, and we just got to do better. But I was wanting to comment on something Fred Teller said earlier. He was saying he not sure whether or not Shaquille is a number one, and I'm pretty much sure he's not a number one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think he's this team's number one. I think Tyson Campbell's the best corner on this team. But, I mean, I think what Fred is saying, based on the contract they gave him, they're paying him kind of like a number one corner, right?
Free agency money, sure.
I am more in the camp of Zach. I mean, that was their rookie number 2 wide receiver that beat Shaq Griffin for the game-winning touchdown there. And, number one lockdown guy, you're not going to let that happen. You can't let that happen,
Yeah. I mean, I'd have to go back and look at it again, but it looks like it wasn't a bust or anything by the safety. It was just kind of looked him off and then threw it up there.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about that in the pregame. That's what those guys are really good at. They're big, physical, high point, contested catch, body control guys, and Pierce has got some deep speed to go with that as well, and it all came into play there at the end. Zach, thank you for the call. We head over to Bay Meadows. John is next up on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, John.
Hey, guys. I guess I kind of have like a mixed bag of thoughts this week. Obviously no one likes losing. No fun to watch your team lose, but I'm also kind of encouraged at the same time. Trevor showed us something that I up until recently, I don't think I've really seen. He actually put the team on his shoulders there in the last quarter and hauled them down the field for a touchdown. He's running and directing traffic while, he's telling Zay Jones, get out in front of me and block. He shows patience when he's waiting on Christian Kirk to get open in the end zone and throws a really nice pass to him. So weirdly, I come out of this feeling a lot better about the quarterback. If anything, the things that I actually am worried about now are on the defensive side of the ball. We need to get need to get quarterbacks on the ground. And, we've also got a Shaq Griffin, weird day for him. And then also, those roughing the passer calls just, they can't happen on third down.
Oh, I know. You're right.
Anyway, that's really it. Take my comments off air.
Appreciate it, man. Look, that is, if you want to find the silver lining in that, last week I get, okay, the defense played well, right? But I think if you're going to pick one, you want the quarterback to look like he's turning into something, and he certainly, again, I don't know what much more he could have done based on the way they devised the game plan today, JP, right? They were not going to throw it down the field into the teeth of Gus Bradley's, zone defense. So they took some underneath stuff. They really relied on the running game to get going, but Trevor ran in a couple of touchdowns. But 20 out of 22 wasn't a huge yardage day by any stretch of the imagination, but it was that fourth quarter drive that you can point to and say, okay, we needed it. It's not his fault that they turned around and gave up the game-winning touchdown, but when they needed it, they had to have it. He put him on his back, so to speak, and helped lead that drive. Would have been nice if he could have gotten that two-point conversion there to put you in a position where even if you give up the field goal, the game's not going to end, and maybe they defensed that a little bit differently on third down, but didn't happen that way.
Yeah, on that 18-play drive, 84 yards, 10 minutes, 3 seconds for the Jaguars. Lawrence throws a touchdown pass to Christian Kirk at the end of it, but yeah, he did it both ways. He had an 18-yarder to Zay Jones early on the drive. On a 3rd and 12 play, the Jags got a pass interference on the Colts defense to get a first down. And then Trevor ran 3 different times to convert for first downs on the drive. A 3rd and 3, he ran for a first, a 4th and 1 sneak, and then a 13-yard run a little later. Mm-hmm. So they used a little bit more of that today as a whole.
Use it. He's got it in his arsenal. Use it, right? I mean, yeah, it's going to expose him to a few more hits along the way, but part of being a quarterback is learning how to protect yourself when you're in those situations, and the rules are there designed to do just that. Let's go to Calvin at the Town Center before we hit the break. Calvin, you're on the Scoreboard Show. Go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. First-time caller, but long-time Jag from the very beginning. Hey, what about Trayvon Walker? What's up with him? 2 games in a row, 3rd down and forever, and he blatantly roughs the passer, leading to touchdowns. I feel like he was a big part in today's loss.
Yeah, that was hand was up, trying to swat the ball, and just got to be a little more aware there. Don't hit the quarterback in the head.
You can't bring it down on the guy's head. Like Tony and Jeff said on the broadcast, that's a foul on every level of football, the way things are going. Especially if you're going to – look, you called out Matt Ryan as being a sitting duck, and the only time you really hit him is when you gave him a 15-yard penalty. So – if I were Trayvon, I'd focus a little bit more on getting in the sack column before I start calling any more quarterback sitting ducks out there. It was, yet again, another big play. There's no denying it. There have been a couple of those now in the last 2 weeks. I mean, look, Trayvon Walker's a guy with a ton of potential and ability, but you can't just accept – I mean, especially after the one last week, which clearly contributed directly to the loss. To have it happen again today. And I get it. You're in the heat of the moment. You're not trying to do it, but you did it. And ultimately, you're the one who's responsible for it. So I think that not only Calvin, but John alluded to that as well in the call before.
355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. More of your calls when we return. Jags fall in Week 6, 34-27 final. The Colts a winner. And it's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
At 5-Star Credit Union, you inspire them to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why they offer Jaguars fans more banking options like better rates and no hidden fees. Their team is also dedicated to making the communities they serve stronger, volunteering their time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. 5-Star Credit Union, 5starcu.org. Go Jags!
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
Travel Camp RV, official RV dealer of the Jacksonville Jaguars, invites you to come shop their huge selection of inventory for your dream RV. With locations across the Southeast, you're sure to find them close by. Get value pricing on the top RV brands in the country, paired with the guaranteed best financing options available. You can also shop their inventory at travelcamp.com. Travel Camp RV has helped more families make more great memories in an RV since 1982. They're excited to add you to the Travel Camp RV family today.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news.
I need to try it first.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
355 NFL 1, the number 355-6351. The Scoreboard Show continues. JP Shadrick with Mike Dempsey. Colts 34, Jaguars 27. The Jags now 2-4 overall, 1-2 in the AFC South. And 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter today. The Jaguars had an 18-play drive to regain the lead in the fourth, 10 minutes off the clock. And the Colts get down the field. Matt Ryan through the air gets it done.
Yeah, we just watched the replay of that game-winning touchdown pass. He didn't even look off the safety. He knew he was singled up. Alec Pierce was with Shaq Griffin. He was going to throw it out there far enough that he didn't think it would get intercepted. Let his guy try to go up and out-muscle him and make the play. And he was getting hit as he threw it, and he just got just enough air under it. You give him credit for laying that ball out there, but you got to be in better position to defend that play and at least force McLaughlin to make a 52, 51-yard field goal, whatever that would have been. Let's go to Lance on the west side next up here on the Scoreboard Show at 355 NFL 1. Hi, Lance.
Oh, hi. Yeah, I just want to say the main reason why the Jaguars lost today is because our whole society is being crumbled.
All right, I don't know about we want a societal any kind of commentary, so thank you.
Took a turn there.
If you had said the other team scored more points, I would have allowed that. Let's go to Leo on the south side next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Hi, Leo.
Gentlemen, thank you. I'll be very brief. Hey, guys, we lost another game. And so I hope this game is a lesson for all, a lesson for the fans, a lesson for Trevor. A lesson being this. I told y'all this. Running the ball, everybody been clamoring for run the ball. Put the James Robinson. I told y'all, it's not about that. This is a new league. This NFL talks to us every week. And the better quarterback today on the field won the game. Trevor needs to sit down. I hope the coaching staff sits Trevor down and not look
Leo.
at the Jaguars.
Just stop.
But
Leo, the guy completed 20 of 22, and you want to bench Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
we're still on that?
Stop it.
What are we doing?
Yes, just stop it. That's nonsense, okay?
Is.
I mean, look, I agree. It's not a ground and pound league, but when you run for 240 in this NFL and any NFL, you got to win 95% of those games, right? I mean, it's got to be. I would bet that any team that has run for 240 in the history of the league, Now, there's probably, you go back in the day, they did it against each other, right?
Right,
the 40s or whatever. But I'm sure there's been occasions.
Flying wedge offense.
I don't want to hear about, unless you're going to go sit Trevor down and give him a good talking to. But I thought that was heading in a different direction. Trevor Lawrence played fine today.
Yeah, it wasn't his deal today.
I mean, he ran for 2 of the touchdowns.
Protected the ball.
He had 2 incompletions on the day. Protected the ball, as you said, was very accurate.
Ran the ball effectively.
Ran it. Utilized his running game. And, are we upset when JaMychal Hasty goes 61 yards with a rush? Because it's a passing league. I'll take that. They were explosive.
This was a defense's issue today. This is the defense's issue.
No question a defensive issue
today. They gave up 34 to Matt Ryan today, basically. Throwing it all over the yard on him all day long.
34 to Matt Ryan without Jonathan Taylor, without Naheem Hines.
They weren't running the ball.
21 the whole year.
They weren't running the ball at all today.
Can't allow it to happen. Now, let's go to Josh in Kentucky next up here on the Scoreboard Show. Josh, go ahead, please.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Again this week, we had another loss that was a one-possession game that very well could have been won. I saw a lot out of the offense today, over 200 yards rushing. We just got to win these close games. We're a young team, and I believe in this team. Carolina is going a fire sale, and my question is, do you think that there's anybody on that team that the Jaguars could benefit from trading for?
Thanks for the call.
They're not having a fire sale. That's the word. They're not. They're willing to
Carolina?
trade McCaffrey because he's a running back, and those guys don't age well, and they're willing to trade Robbie Anderson, who's been a little bit of a malcontent anyway. He's a decent field stretcher. I don't know if Robbie Anderson changes the calculus here. Look, if DJ Moore were available, there are a couple of guys, on that team that I would have interest in. They're not trading Ike Ekwonu. So that's the word that they've let people know that McCaffrey and Anderson are available, but it is not a fire sale. But other than that, there would be absolutely players you'd be interested in having off the Carolina Panthers or any other team that decided to kind of go in and cash in their chips.
And there's only 2 weeks left until the deadline, right? It's early November, I believe, is the deadline.
You're right, yeah.
So
Derek Brown would be maybe the guy to acquire. They're not going to trade you Derek Brown. He's part of what they hope is a rebuilding effort.
And consider this, too. This is a Jags team that is – right now they're 2-4. The schedule is not getting lighter. The Giants come in here next week. They're going to London after that. Then it's the Raiders and the Chiefs, and then the bye week, right? Okay, well, the deadline is before the bye week. So do you really feel like a trade at this point would make you turn things around immediately this year and get this going when you'd have to give up draft equity or a player or whatever you have to give up that you're trying to build your future around next offseason? If they were 4-2, and hold on, if they were 4-2 and in first place, hey, we're going to make a playoff run and add Marcel Darius.
Well, that's the thing.
Okay,
Marcel Darius
that's different.
Turned their run defense around overnight.
But they were right there in the hunt, 500, a little over, and in the hunt right there.
They're
in the
hunt in their division right now.
True. Okay.
Look,
they're 4-2. They're 2-4 though. It's a little
matter.
different.
These guys are not available.
Yeah.
But if I could get Derek Brown for a second-round pick or like a third and a fifth, or if they were willing to, if they were truly doing a fire sale, I'd be all over getting that guy. He's starting to play like a top 10 player that he was selected to be a couple of years ago.
And then also you got to think about what's the contract of the guys you're bringing in. You might have to start rolling money back, and then there's financial implications of that down the line too. And so that's. I think it was, if the record was reversed, you might be a little more aggressive in that.
Look, I'd love Christian McCaffrey on any team, but you don't. That's not a fit here. You've got running backs that are producing for this team.
He ran for 243 today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
hey, let's take a timeout. We'll come back. Bucky Brooks standing by. We'll hear from Bucky in Indianapolis. More of your calls coming up in just a little bit. This is the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Brooks Rehabilitation, has more than 50 years of experience serving the North Florida community with cutting-edge rehabilitation care, ranging from joint replacements, sports injuries, and balance issues to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, and strokes. Their highly trained clinical teams span across their system of care to include inpatient, outpatient, skilled nursing, assisted living and memory care, home health, and adaptive community programs. Learn more at brooksrehab.org. Brooks is proud to be the rehabilitation provider for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hey Jaguars fans, are you tired of being late to the game because you're stuck in traffic or circling the lot looking for a place to park? Well, join the thousands of other Jags fans who already know the smartest way to get to TIAA Bank Field is on the JTA Game Day Express. Shuttles run from 4 convenient locations around Jacksonville, including the Kings Avenue parking garage on the South Bank. Tickets start at just $10 and are available exclusively on the Token Transit mobile app. The JTA Game Day Express. It's like winning before the game even starts.
Hey, it's Marissa Garnhart, girlfriend of Jacksonville Jaguars running back James Robinson. The team always has a game day plan, and so do I.
This week at Publix, save $10 instantly when you spend $40 on the P&G products that help you tackle everything from pregame prep to postgame cleanup, including Crest, Old Spice, Bounty, and Tide. Clip your digital coupon now at Publix.com.
Available at Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
You're beyond busy. Between work and the kids, the dogs and the cat, let us help. With Publix Delivery powered by Instacart, you'll get the items you need from the store you know. Just shop online, select the time you'd like your order delivered, and grocery shopping is done, giving you more time to take care of everything else.
Publix Delivery, powered by Instacart. Visit Publix.com/delivery to shop now. That's Publix.com/delivery. Item prices vary from in-store prices. Service fees may apply. Available in select zip codes. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At Tropical Smoothie Cafe, one taste and you're feeling good now, smiling wider now, seeing brighter now, bucket dunking now, namasteing now, popping a wheelie now, living lighter now. You're on Tropic Time now. And on Mondays, try our Jaguars Duval Delight Smoothies for $2.99. And you're roaring louder now, end zone dancing now, sipping spirit now. You're on Tropic Time now at Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Committed to the team. Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. So our policies have no fine print and no military service restrictions. We don't work on commission. We're nonprofit, so we pass the savings along to our members. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org. Navy Mutual, insuring those who serve.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey. More of your calls coming up. 355 NFL 1. Final score, Colts 34, Jaguars 27. Let's go to Indianapolis and welcome in Jaguars field analyst Bucky Brooks. As the Jaguars drop another one today, Bucky. The offense played pretty well. The defense did not. And that's and certainly in the key moments late. Matt Ryan throwing it all over the yard today. Well, not over the yard. A lot of it was short, and the veteran in the key moment late made the big throw for the touchdown.
Yeah, disappointing day for the Jags because, the Colts came with a different game plan. Rather than running the ball, they threw it all over the yard. They didn't want to test the Jaguars' run defense with their backs being out. And they were able to have success. Early in the game when the Jaguars were unable to stop the crossing routes in man-to-man, it forced Mike Caldwell's hand, and he had to go zone. And then Matt Ryan was able to get into a rhythm. He got comfortable. And really, man, he had his way with the defense. And so it's just really disappointing that a team that has really been struggling with protection, a team that doesn't have A-level receivers, were able to have the success that they had. And so there's a big step back for the defense because in those moments, in those games, you got to have it. And in reality, your quote-unquote stars have to play stars in key moments. And our stars didn't play like that.
No doubt about it, Bucky. Put yourself, if you can, in Shaq Griffin's shoes because you've been in those as a professional defensive back. It's third down. and you're trying to force a long field goal attempt, and ultimately Matt Ryan just decided, I'm going to throw one up to one of my jump ball guys. What did you see from Shaq in coverage on Alec Pierce there on that touchdown?
Well, I mean, it was really kind of typical of the day, and if we're going to be honest about what we saw today, like, he struggled all day. And the fact that he struggled against Alec Pierce is problematic for someone who is expected to be a number one corner. And so in that moment, 3rd and long, where you need to get off the field, you bring in the pressure because you want to force a long field goal. And so on the perimeter, his job is to make sure that he doesn't give up the big ball, but he has to challenge Alec Pierce at the line of scrimmage and not make it such an easy win. And so what you saw, Alec Pierce beat him off the line, maintained his leverage, put him in the tail lights, and then Matt Ryan threw an absolute dime. And that was game over. And so it's just disappointing because you would like to think that your marquee free agent from a year ago comes in and does what he was expected to do, which is lock down that side, and he has been unable to do so.
Bucky Brooks with us from Indianapolis. Some positives on offense today, though, Bucky. Trevor Lawrence, 20 of 22 passing, efficient, 165 yards, a touchdown through the air, had 2 on the ground. They utilized his legs in a few key moments, short yardage situations today. And in the running game, the Jaguars had the 6th best rushing day in franchise history today, Bucky. 243 yards, but lose the football game. But it seemed like they had a nice day on offense. Let's put it that way. What was the best part of this day, and why did they run so effectively?
Well, they ran so effectively because they have some nice schemes, some clever things. They used the Indianapolis Colts aggressiveness against them, meaning they did some trap blocking, some wham blocking, some things where they invite the defense up the field, and then someone from across the field kind of cleans them out. And so Travis Etienne and James Robinson and Jermichael Hasty had some success being able to have those explosive runs. But really, it's now about the personnel. The more that you see Travis Etienne get in the mix, the more the explosive plays begin to happen. And if you're Doug Peterson and you're looking for a way to add an element to this offense, well, what you do is you keep it simple. Put the ball in the hands of your most explosive playmakers and let them do work. We saw Travis Etienne have a great day because he had more opportunities.
Bucky, the first game, Christian Kirk scored a couple of touchdowns, was much more involved than he was today. He did get the touchdown late, which was good for the Jags, but did you see anything in particular that the Colts were doing to take him away?
No, I just don't think it was by design in terms of, like, the game plan. The game plan, to me, was Trevor Lawrence operating what we call the Clemson offense. And so if you watched him at Clemson, it was running game to Travis Etienne, bubble screens, RPOs, design quarterback runs, and some quicks. And that's what the Jaguars' offense was today. High efficiency for the quarterback, explosive plays from the playmakers around him, particularly the running back, and then away you go. And so that's what it was. It wasn't anything that they necessarily did to Christian Kirk. Today wasn't his day to be featured prominently in the game plan because it just didn't throw screens and stuff out that way. Maybe next week he'll get back on track. But today, it just wasn't a big part of the game plan to get number 13 the ball early enough.
Bucky, you were there. I mean, how's this locker room feel right after it? Obviously disappointed in the loss, but we'll probably get a better feel Wednesday when they're back to work looking for the Giants next week.
I would say, it comes from the head coach. I think you're just more so annoyed by the fact that it's another game that you could have, should have won if you don't beat yourself with penalties. I mean, just think about their scoring drives. At the end, the last 4 minutes of the drive, they gave up 10 points or multiple points because they had a roughing the passer penalty on Trayvon Walker. They had a defensive pass interference penalty on Shaquille Griffin. They had another pass interference on Devin Lloyd. And all those penalties are occurring on 3rd down, 3rd and long situations where you have to get off the field. And so we can keep talking about it, but it's one of those things that a team has to go through the process of learning how to win. Right now, before we can even talk about the other team beating us, we're beating ourselves. And so we just got to keep going to work and clean it up. We have to keep talking about those things, like avoiding the self-inflicted mistakes. And eventually, if you do that, you'll start to win games.
Bucky, final thought from me. I asked Fred Taylor about this. You can imagine what he said. But 4th and 1 in the shotgun, and then you run an option pitch as you're running and you're shortening the field as you're getting stretched out to the sideline, and Etienne gets the pitch, and now he's 5 yards short of the line to gain. What did you make of that play?
Look, man, I'm sure Joe would want to have that back. What I would tell you from skill level, the guy that they were optioning off, his last name was Speed. What he did, he was able to actually play Trevor and Travis at the same time. And one of the things about the option and the speed option in particular is if the defense strings it out like they did because it's a fast defense, it forces you into a very, very tight space. And so it was one of those things that looked great on paper. It looked great by design. But when it came to the execution, the Jaguars just didn't execute the play properly in that moment. And it's unfortunate because if you keep the field goal or if you get a conversion, maybe things end up differently. It's one of the many calls that I'm sure everyone on the coaching staff will look back and say, man, I wish I had that back. I probably could have called something differently or better. We could execute it better.
Bucky, thanks for the insight as always. Safe travels. We'll talk to you this week.
All right, man. You guys have a good one.
Bucky Brooks from Indianapolis, Jaguars field analyst. Jaguars fall 34-27, 3 fourth-quarter lead changes. And the Colts get it done on a Matt Ryan to Alec Pierce touchdown of 32 yards in the fourth quarter. And the Colts are now 3-2-1. The Jaguars 2-4. We're back in a moment. We'll close it out. It's the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.
Are you suffering from shoulder pain? If you have clicking and popping in the shoulder joint, persistent pain that intensifies with use, an inability to lift your arm over your head, or a tingling, burning sensation in the shoulder, elbow, or wrist, waiting to see a doctor could make your injury worse. Baptist Health and Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute have innovative and effective treatment options available right now to relieve your pain and restore your mobility. Don't wait. Call 904-JOI-2000.
At most sandwich places, asking for more of something is just part of the drill. But what if you never had to ask for more? What if more was just a given? At Daly's, more is what our sandwiches are built on. More meat, more cheese, more veggies, more quality, more taste. All for a price that's anything but more. Sandwiches from Dash, made fresh. Daly's.
Veterans, you may have earned a variety of VA benefits. Did you know VA can help you further your education and pursue professional training? The Home Loan Guarantee Program can help you buy, repair, or adapt a home. VA provides housing support if you find yourself homeless or at risk of homelessness. And don't forget world-class health care. Learn more about these and other VA benefits. Visit choose.va.gov.
When it comes to water, choose our team, the winning team. Choose CGC Water Treatment. CGC Water Treatment works, and it works for DG too, former Jags QB, David Garrard.
If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Discover the Kinetico difference.
Call CGC Water Treatment at 844-CGC-JAGS or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Kinetico dealers.
Decisions are a part of our everyday life. Whether you're building a football team or building your education, your success is built on the decisions you make. So choosing J-Tech as your career training destination should be a no-brainer. With small class sizes, dedicated instructors, job placement assistance, and financial aid available for those who qualify, J-Tech is praised as a good choice by our graduates. Learn how you can build your career the right way by visiting jtech.org for more information.
Touchdown at Jaguars away games when you fly nonstop from Jacksonville International Airport. Join the Jaguars in D.C., Los Angeles. Watch them win in Philly, Indy, Detroit, Nashville, New York, and Houston. When you fly nonstop from Jax, on airport parking will punt the stress from your travel itinerary. Garage facilities offer defensive coverage from the weather and are a 50-yard dash from the terminal. Economy parking is just $6 a day. To learn more about nonstop flights and on-airport parking, visit flyjax.com.
The Jaguars Scoreboard Show continues right now.
Welcome back. It's 34-27, the final. The Colts over the Jaguars. JP Shadrick, Mike Dempsey, thank you for all the phone calls tonight. Our thanks to Bucky Brooks for joining us in Indianapolis. Next week, the New York Giants come to town, and the Giants are 5-1 and right at the top of the NFC East. Here we go.
And the Giants, I think, are getting used to being overlooked themselves, right? They're not overlooking anybody. They're showing up every week. doesn't matter who's in, who's out. As long as Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones are upright, they're contending and got the job done again late today, and could have been an even bigger victory, as Fred Taylor alluded to, as Saquon Barkley did the little slide down move at the 2-yard line when he had a walk-in touchdown late. So, yeah, the Giants are playing great football right now, JP. They are a good football team. And, again, the mantra, good football teams win the close games. Well, the Jags are 0-4 in close games, in one-score games. So right now, if everything goes well, they're capable of winning a football game, but those have been the only look, they were capable of winning all these games. That's the shame of it. It's been a little bit of a different form. It'd be one thing if you're like, hey, you know what? We can't stop the run. We just can't stop the run. Every week it's the run, the run, the run. But, it was turnover fest in Philly. It was no offense against Houston, and it was no defense today for the most part against Indianapolis, at least against their short passing game. So finding different ways to lose.
Frustrating. Jaguars fall to 2-4 and 1-2 in the AFC South. They'll try to figure it out next week against the Giants. A week after that, it's back to London to face the Denver Broncos. Then the Raiders are here. Then the Jags head to Kansas City in the final game before the bye week. So that's the next month ahead for the Jags.
Just got to focus on getting a win against the Giants, man. That's all you can do. And I mean, that's going to get old here, but you got 11 games left. There's still a lot that can happen in the AFC South, but you put yourself in a bad position now over the last 3 weeks.
Jaguars Today coming up tomorrow at 10 o'clock on 1010XL.
Yep, Tony Smith and David Garrard join me every Monday, and we invite everyone else's reaction. That's kind of what we do on Mondays, is just to react to the Jags' performance, good or bad. So we'll hold court tomorrow for 2 hours.
Jags Drive Time in the morning on Jaguars.com. Ashwin Sullivan hosts that program. We'll have Jaguars Happy Hour Radio tomorrow afternoon, 4 to 6 on 1010XL AM and Jaguars.com. Thanks to our entire crew, David Cho, Linda Fortunato, Tony Smith. For Mike Dempsey, I'm JP Shadrick. Thank you for listening. Jaguars fall 34-27 to the Colts. This has been the Scoreboard Show on Jaguars Radio.